So we know AI agents can save us lots of time, but can they actually make us money? Well, one developer recently found out that that answer is yes. He was able to develop an AI agent which has generated him nearly over half a million views on TikTok and nearly $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue on his app, generating tons and tons of content, consistently iterating and improving on the content, and essentially replacing an entire marketing team just using AI. And this case study, I think, is very indicative of what we can expect to come for essentially all of our careers. So today I want to do a quick case study on what this developer did to leverage this OpenAI agent to completely explode his business. And again, you may say, well, Mark, $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue isn't a ton, but guys, that's in 5 days. He did this in 5 days. And what I think you need to understand is that these AI agents learn and iterate and become better and better and better. So there's this momentum that builds. Anyway, let's do this case study. And I think you're gonna be blown away by what this guy did, because the reality is a lot of guys out there say that, oh, AI is fake and it's always an Indian and it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors and the big tech guys don't really have. Guys, this is for real. I don't know what to say, but every day I'm blown away. So I want to do more case studies of what's actually working, because it's kind of blowing me away. So what happened here? So a developer named Oliver Henry used his Openclaw agent to create an AI agent named Larry. And essentially Larry, this autonomous AI entity, if you would, ran on an old gaming PC. So we had a dedicated PC that ran this. By the way, I was the other day, actually just today, I was looking at an old PC that I have sitting on the ground, and I was like, I wonder what trouble we could get into with that old computer there. Anyway, Openclaw, what is Openclaw? I covered this in more detail in a video. I'll post a link to the video here. But Openclaw is an open source software that gives AI a persistent identity, memory, and access to actually real tools. So Openclaw, this entity can have access to your social media, to your calendar, to email, basically anything that's on a computer, your Openclaw agent can gain access to, which is exciting and terrifying at the same point. In any event, in this case, he connected his Openclaw agent to his Claude AI account. And here's what Oliver did when he set up this Openclaw. So these are the exact steps that Oliver took with setting up Larry, his Openclaw agent. So he gave it its own personality and memory so that it could persist between sessions. It could get smarter every time it opened up TikTok, every time it opened up an app, every time it looked at the data and the results, it got smarter and smarter. He also gave it the ability to read and write files onto Oliver's local machine. Again, you're using Openclaw, you probably want a dedicated computer separate from the computer that you're using daily, because you want it to have basically autonomy. It's like your own employee working on this computer. He gave it the ability to generate images through OpenAI's API. Basically, that's ChatGPT. Custom code that he wrote himself, he added in order to text overlays onto those images. So, you've got an image, it's going to create images, it's going to include text over that. He gave it access to an app called Postiz, which essentially manages his TikTok account. It's an API that connects to his TikTok account. He gave it skill files that teaches his AI agent specific workflows, and he granted it memory files where it logs every lesson learned. And this is a really important thing, guys. Anytime you're using AI, frankly, when you think about implementing a new AI operating procedure, let's say, or a new AI software, you have to think of it kind of as like a science experiment. You want to hypothesize, you want to test, you want to iterate, you want to observe, you want to see if you can replicate and iterate and improve. This is really important. You can't just say, oh, I set up my AI agent or my AI GPT and now it's done. Well, no, that's the first step. You got to continue to iterate. And that's why these adding the memory files to his AI agent is so important, because he doesn't have to go in and manually adjust it all the time. This thing is learning on its own. And how does Larry actually communicate and talk to it? He just has a WhatsApp chat. He just chats with it in WhatsApp. And I've heard in some cases, guys, you don't have to use WhatsApp, you use Telegram. There's different messaging apps, but he just has conversations with it in Telegram. Hey, what's up? We're going to talk about that here in just a moment as well. But anyway, so he's having these conversations. Larry his AI agent will be like, hey, posts are done. Go ahead and get them posted up. And he does that. And I've even, again, heard people using Telegram, of course, and just having phone calls with their AI agents. You hook up your AI agent to 11 Labs. Well, now you can actually get phone calls from your AI agent and have real conversations, which is kind of bizarre, having your AI agent give you a call. That's pretty wild, right? Anyways, so he's got his content machine created. How does he actually turn this into viral content that drives traffic to his app and drives monthly recurring revenue? Well, his AI agent, Larry, creates carousel images for slideshows, and it overlays text on top of that image. And he's found, at least right now, that 6 slides per post with a text overlay, with a story style caption, and 5 hashtags is the key. And he also needs to go and add music on top of that. I'll cover that here in just a moment. His goal with this TikTok channel is to drive traffic to his app called Snuggly. And basically what Snuggly does is it helps people design rooms. You have a blank room, it will help put up a design, kind of like what would it look like with different furniture, different paint, and so on and so forth. So basically what Larry does is Larry writes these detailed prompts based on previously discerned criteria. It's gonna keep testing new things. And I think that, guys, is the most remarkable thing. In the past, when you're using automation, like whatever you tell the app to do, like I've done a lot of work with Zapier, whatever you tell it to do, it's gonna keep doing that over and over and over again. It's not gonna iterate on its own. You can go in and you can learn and give it new directives, new prompts, new instructions, but what Larry does is it continues to iterate. It continues to adjust. And so anyway, once these posts are completed, Larry uses this app called Postiz to schedule social media posts on TikTok, and then it will notify him that it's time to push live. So the OpenAI agent generates the images, adds the text overlays, writes the caption. Larry uploads everything to TikTok, like I mentioned, using Postiz, and saves it as a draft. It does not post it. Once the draft is saved, the OpenAI agent, or the Openclaw agent, sends a message to Oliver, the creator, via WhatsApp. Oliver opens up TikTok, picks a trending sound, adds it, pastes the caption, hits publish, done. So he's doing 60 seconds worth of work to get these posts out. And then what happens is his Openclaw agent, Larry, learns with every post. It iterates in every post. It improves with every post. It's gonna test a lot of different things. It's testing a lot of different things at first, and a lot of stuff was flopping. And then all of a sudden, he found this kind of formula, like if we put this type of text into the post, we know that that has a viral opportunity. And it's just gonna start maximizing for views, for engagement. Every failure becomes a rule, every success becomes a piece of its formula, and improves constantly. And by the way, I do this on YouTube as well. I know what type of videos are gonna hit. I know what type of intros in hooks are gonna engage viewers and bring them in. And I test different things out because I don't wanna be a one-trick pony. There's a lot of things that I wanna talk about. But regardless of the fact, what we're seeing here is we're seeing an evolution in the way that engagement happens online. For someone like me, I'm in the marketing world. It's all about traffic, how much traffic we can get, how well can we convert that traffic, what type of offers are going to work the best. And just this idea of using AI agents to constantly improve and iterate on themselves is completely absurd. It completely upends and changes the way that marketing works. And in the past, I would have a team. I would have people that I hire to do certain tasks, review certain things. But in this new world, I can deploy AI agents for my clients, for my customers, for myself to grow and iterate and learn. At the end of the day, the clients that I'm working with, all they really care about is how much is it going to cost me to get a new customer? How much is it going to cost me to get a new client? How much does it cost me per lead? And leveraging AI agents to do that at a high level and improve is like completely mind-blowing. Now, with all that said, this technology, these AI agents, Openclaw, is so new. And as we've seen over the past few days, it can be pretty bizarre. It can be unpredictable. We covered a tool that an OpenAI developer created called Lobster Wild, which essentially gave away all of his Solana, all of these meme coins on the Solana blockchain away just because somebody asked. So like, these AI agents can be pretty unpredictable, which is kind of scary. I haven't, between you and me, I haven't jumped into this Openclaw madness yet because I'm concerned about privacy. I'm not a developer. I'm a regular guy. I'm in marketing. And I don't know that I'm ready to take that leap. However, this stuff is moving really fast and there is a first mover advantage. So I want to bring this to y'all's attention. What do you think about Openclaw? What do you think about these AI agents? Is this all hype? Do you think that it's too early to get in? Do you feel like if you don't step in and start using these tools, you'll be late to the party? Because the reality is, in a year, everyone's gonna be using this stuff. I didn't cover this in a video, but ChatGPT, OpenAI, Sam Altman, went out and got the developer, the primary developer of Openclaw, poached and brought him to OpenAI so they could start developing these AI agent tools over there. So the world is moving so fast. I'm not gonna sit here and say that nobody's gonna have a job, but what I will say is that everyone's job is gonna change dramatically. And the guys that understand how to use these tools are gonna be well on their way to being relevant, respected, and financially free. Period, full stop. I'm about to get home and I'm like this close to pulling the trigger on setting up this Openclaw on a computer. I know there's risks involved, but it's so insane what's possible if you can build out these tools. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for smashing the like button. If you're subscribed to the channel, you're gonna know this stuff is happening before everyone else, so make sure that you're subbed, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. See ya, peace.